today.
Today marks a significant moment in our efforts to leverage the advancements in forensic science to help move us forward to identify and work with these cold cases to help bring closure to families and justice to victims. The identification of three previously unidentified remains over the past 3 years is a testament to the hard work and dedication of the team of professionals that are gathered here today. And I want to thank them, all the investigators, the forensic experts, and everyone that played a part in unraveling these mysteries. To the family of Helen, I want to offer my sincere condolences and to tell you that the Lincoln County Sheriff's Department will continue to work with the investigators to try to uncover the mystery behind the last days of her life. While today brings us a sense of closure, it also reminds us that here in this community, we still have 2 missing children, Arlen Henderson, who disappeared in 1991, and Bianca Piper, who disappeared from our community in 2005. They continue to be in our thoughts daily, and we will continue to work to identify every possible lead and bring closure to those cases as well. And at this time, I'd like to introduce somebody that took a lead in this investigation from the beginning, our coroner, Dan Haven.
Good morning, and thank you for being here today. I am Dan Haven, the Lincoln County Coroner, and I'm pleased to share a significant development in a decades-old case that has finally brought closure to a family and our community. On March of 1978, the body of an unidentified white female was discovered in the Mississippi River near Ellsbury, Missouri. Despite exhaustive efforts at the time, her identity remained a mystery, and she was laid to rest in April of that same year. 46 years later, in November of 23, we took the extraordinary step of exhuming the remains of Lincoln County Jane Doe. We were seeking to utilize advancements in forensic technology along with the anthropology department of Southeast Missouri State University to provide her with a name. Anthropologist Dr. Jennifer Bingston immediately estimated the age of the girl to be a teenager, not mid-30s as originally thought. For 46 years, we were looking for a missing person in her 30s. We were looking for the wrong person. Through the dedicated efforts of the anthropology department of SEMO, we were able to extract the DNA from the remains and identify a possible relative. I contacted the possible relative and asked if they would submit a sample, which was collected by the Wapello County Sheriff's Office. The results revealed a 100% sibling DNA match. When I initially called, the gentleman on the other end of the phone stated, "You have my sister." After years of uncertainty, I'm here today to announce that the Lincoln County Coroner's Office, in collaboration with the Anthropology Department of Southeast Missouri State University, has successfully identified this unknown female as Helen Groomes of Iowa. She was just 15 years old when she went missing in 1977. DNA taken from her brother Kevin Groomes provided the crucial match that allowed us to identify her. I want to extend my deepest sympathies to Kevin, the family, and the loved ones of Helen. While nothing can erase the pain or the loss, I hope that this long-awaited identification brings them some measure of closure and peace. There are many people and organizations that came together to accomplish this. I want to acknowledge the diligent efforts of Detective Aaron McConnell with the Wapello County Sheriff's Office in Iowa. Upon learning of Helen's disappearance, Detective McConnell launched a joint investigation with our office, which led to Helen's identification. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge the exceptional efforts of Dr. Jen Bingston from the Anthropology Department of Southeast Missouri State University, as well as her dedicated students. Dr. Bingston and her team dedicated countless hours and resources to the meticulous examination and analysis of the remains. In a few moments, she will explain the process her team used in the identification. On behalf of the Lincoln County Coroner's Office and the entire community, I extend our heartfelt appreciation to your unwavering commitment and dedication, which was able to bring closure to Helen's family and the Lincoln County community. I want to also take a moment to express our gratitude to Sheriff Rick Harrell and all the members of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office for their assistance, both past and present. Their professionalism and expertise have played a crucial role in every step of the process, from the time of Helen's body was discovered to her exhumation and identification. I want to extend our deepest appreciation for their commitment to justice and their relentless pursuit of truth. I'd also like to extend a special acknowledgement to Kemperkine Funeral Home, especially Jamie Thurman, for their compassionate and professional support in caring for Helen throughout the lengthy process. They donated their time and services to ensure that Helen had a respectful burial initially in 1978 and were instrumental in the exhumation and provided services once again till Helen's identity was known. Previous Coroner Kelly Walters, who always took my phone calls and told us everything that she could remember about this case. I'd also like to thank the many donors of the county and the area who donated to Othram, the company Dr. Bingston used to sequence the DNA and identify Helen's brother as a match, and was key to identifying Helen. When I was appointed coroner in 2021, there were the remains of 3 unknown individuals in Lincoln County. My chief deputy, Stephanie Wachowski, and I made it our mission to give everyone a name, and I am happy to announce that all have now been identified and returned to their loved ones. At this time, I'm going to bring up Dr. Jennifer Bingston to explain the process of what was used.
Thank you. I will be brief. My students and I have had the privilege of working with Lincoln County on 3 unidentified remains cases over the last several years. We assisted with the exhumation of these particular remains back in November, which would not have been possible were it not for the excellent record keeping by law enforcement, the City of Troy, and Kemperkine Funeral Home. Our analysis of dental and bone development made it clear almost immediately that this was a teenager, and we estimated that she was around 16 to 18 years old when she died. We now know she was in fact just 15. We were also able to do some preliminary testing in collaboration with the forensic chemistry program at SEMO in order to choose the most promising samples for DNA extraction and sequencing. We then sent those samples to our lab partners at Othram in Texas, where they were able to successfully extract DNA, develop a genomic profile, and do genealogical research. With those leads, Lincoln County was able to work with the Wapello County authorities to piece Helen's story back together. We are so honored to have played a small part in this process, and we are grateful for the opportunities that Lincoln County has provided us with. Dr. Ryan Campbell of Southern Illinois University Carbondale provided ground-penetrating radar at the gravesite, which helped us plan the exhumation. We are also grateful to the private donors to my lab. Because of their support for experiential learning opportunities for anthropology students, we are able to pay for the various kinds of testing we do on these cases. I also want to thank everyone who donated to our fundraising site, hosted at DNAsolves.com, as well as the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System for providing grant money to help fund this case. On behalf of myself and my students, I want to express my condolences to Helen's family. Our hearts break for you, and we hope that having her back brings some comfort. Thank you.
Alright guys, thanks for being here this morning. My name is Detective Aaron McConnell. I'm with the Wapello County Sheriff's Office in Ottumwa, Iowa. First and foremost, the reason we're here today is because the work the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, Lincoln County Coroner's Office, and Dr. Jen with Southeast Missouri State has done. The technology's there to reveal names on cases like this. However, you still have to have the passion and the drive, and that's exactly what these guys did. So as far as on our end, on the Wapello County Sheriff's Office, we received a call about a month ago from Dan saying that they've got a name, they need some help on some DNA, and asked for our assistance. We got involved, that's what led us here today. At this time, you know, we're working with the family. That's why we came down here, is to kind of get with all the family members and see what's going on. Just like Sheriff of Lincoln County said, you know, Roger, Kevin, Boyd, we're dedicated to help you guys as well, and we're going to continue. You guys obviously have our phone numbers, and now it's our job to sift through everything and see what we can't figure out on our side. So again, thanks guys.
At this time, we'd like to open up the floor for questions.
Can you dive deeper in the cause of death? Presumed drowning, but I think it's undetermined still how she died. Can you tell us more?
That is correct, and we're still working to determine that. At the time the autopsy was completed in 1978, it was determined as an undetermined cause of death. So there's a chance we might not ever find out. And that's what the Wapello County Sheriff's Office is doing, is trying to work and see if we can get that final piece to the puzzle.
So did she go missing in Iowa and then found here?
Yes, she went missing in October of 1977. And then she was found here in March of 1978.
How much do these cold case files bother you?
Pardon me?
How much do they bother you?
Well,
Kind of keep you awake.
it does, because you want to figure out and you want to get the answers for the families. Because everybody deserves closure, and everybody deserves a peace of mind. And that's what we're trying to give them.
Learning that she was 15 and not 30 and 40 years old in that range, I mean, how much more did that lead you obviously in that right direction?
It made you want to, whenever a child's involved, it just gives you a little bit extra, you know, to go that extra mile, gives you the extra energy to make sure that that child, you know, has a voice and is given the dignity and the proper, I can't think of it now, but just be able to give this child the closure that it needs along with the family. Any other questions? We'll all be around after the press conference. Also, the family here, and they've agreed to speak with you all if y'all have questions for them. I'd like to thank you all for coming, taking the time out of your day, and thank you for helping